guys, it's me KTB, and today I'm going to be reviewing Girl of Nightmares by Kendare. It is the sequel to Anna Dressed in Blood, which I have reviewed on my channel previously, and I will link you to that down below if you haven't gone and seen it, so please do go and check it out. And today I'm not going to be reading the synopsis for this because it reveals a kind of story spoiler for this one, and for those of you who might be interested in kind of like the look of the front cover of this one and think I might actually go and see this one and might actually go and read this one, I don't want you guys to be kind of going, oh, but now you've kind of spoiled the ending. So that's why I'm not reading the synopsis out for this. So I'll just be giving you a brief summary and then I'll get into my review. So this book is set 6 months after the events of Anna Dressed in Blood, and the events of Anna Dressed in Blood are kind of giving their impact off in the beginning of this book. And so Anna is haunting Cass, and for the reasons that are kind of revealed at the end of Anna Dressed in Blood, and he can't let her go, and he's very much still in love with her like he was in the first book. And him and his friends Thomas and Carmel are still getting on with their lives. He's still in the same place as before. He's changed his routine up. He's, instead of kind of travelling every year to kind of combat ghosts, he's now staying where he was when he moved in Anna Dressed in Blood, and he's kind of doing more local ghosts instead of going out and travelling and getting the ghosts that people sent his way. So that's my synopsis, and then he goes on his quest. Obviously that's not the end of the synopsis. He goes on his quest to try and solve the problems of the last book in this one. So there you have it. Anyway, better get on with my review. The characters in this book, they showed some growth from the last book for those that were there from the last book, like Cass and Carmel and Thomas. They showed the continuation of the growth that they had from the first book, which is amazing, because sometimes you can kind of tell in YA books when you got to the sequel they're still the same characters as they were at the beginning of the first book, and that growth has just completely disappeared, or they've kind of taken a step backwards to get there, and it's like, oh, come on. So they have continued their growth. They've gotten much tighter as a team, and they're off combating ghosts together after the events of Anna Dressed in Blood. So they are amazing and I've loved them, and it's amazing to hear Cass's voice again, because his voice was incredible and I loved him. He was such a great character. And obviously Gideon and Cass's mum return, because it wouldn't be an Anna Dressed in Blood sequel without them. Anna is in this story, but she's not in the foreground like Cass, Carmel and Thomas are. She's more kind of secondary character, which is a bit of a shame, but it's understandable why. And there are some new characters as well, like a character called Justine, and she is an amazing character as well. I really liked her, and I liked what she represented as well, because it kind of gave an interesting conflict between her and Cass, which was awesome, because a sequel needs something to upend the status quo from the last book, and she provided that. And she went through her own growth as well throughout the book after she was introduced, because she was introduced a bit late, but she was a great character too. Pacing wise, it's less focused on the action, so it does sometimes feel a little bit slower, but it's not like each scene is going on too long. It's just that there's less action, so it's not as fast moving or as fast paced as Anna Dressed in Blood, unfortunately, which is a small reason why I kind of liked Anna Dressed in Blood. It wasn't the major reason, but it was a small part of Anna Dressed in Blood, which was why I kind of really took to the first book. And the kind of love story is still there in this one, which is another reason why I really enjoyed the first book, because it was an interesting love story. And most love stories, most romance stories I've come across are very much female protagonist. They're all very mushy. They kind of come across this hunk of a man who has a six-pack and they fall in love, they have great relations, and and they fall out for a little bit and then they get back together and get married and have a happily ever after. And the Anna Dressed in Blood duology has a different take on the romance genre, which is why I kind of loved the first book so much. So it was great to see that continued in this one. So yeah, I really liked that bit of it, which is great, which is why it had an impact on me like the Rosie Project did, because obviously the Rosie Project was a little bit different in the sense of it having another male protagonist that you follow who believes in having two people together in a relationship that match, and then he finds that opposites do attract, and he has a little bit more of an unconventional relationship. I have reviewed that one on my channel, you should go check it out. I'll put the links to that one below with Anna Dressed in Blood. Yeah, and so yeah, it was a bit of a shame not seeing Anna so much. She was still there, it wasn't like she completely disappeared, but she's in the background because of what happened in Anna Dressed in Blood, which for spoiler reasons I'm not going to reveal to you guys. Otherwise, it was an amazing book. I really enjoyed it, and it kind of left an impact on me, this duology, because this duology, along with the Rosie Project, kind of left this imprint in my mind that, you know, that not all romance novels are going to be the same, especially when you kind of mix them over with certain other genres which result in books like these, which are engaging and absorbing and where characters are great. And I love these books. They are so worth a read. You should go and get both of them because they're engaging, and it renewed some of my faith in the innovation of romance, because quite a lot of the straight romance stories are becoming to be more samey today, and like I mentioned earlier, it's very much woman meets hunky man with six-pack, falls in love, has great relations, and then falls out with him. They get married at the end, or kind of are on the brink of getting married at the end. And sometimes, while I do like seeing the familiarity of that and seeing someone else's kind of take on that, it's nice to find something that has made a bigger divergence from that set pattern. So that's what they've left on me, and I really love them for that. So you should go and see my review of this one, get it, and then get this one, because it's amazing. And especially if you love horror, thriller kind of genres, but you want to kind of have something new as well, because it's got romance elements in it. And so yeah, really good book. I loved it, and I'm pretty sure you guys will too. So yeah, I will see you next time. Hit that like button, make sure you subscribe if you're new around here, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.